Hello friends, this is Kate from Kate's Knitcast, and I am here with an update. This is going to be a primarily knitting and crochet update. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have anything cross-stitch related this time, but I'm going to get this filmed really quick as it is starting to get pretty warm here in Northern California where I live. And I do not handle the heat, so I'm going to film this, and then I usually try to take a nap to sleep through the hottest parts of the day. But anyways, so I have a lot to share with you in terms of knitting and crochet projects. I have been watching the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial non-stop up through the conclusion last week, and so I had a lot of knitting and crochet time, and so yeah, that's what I was doing. Excuse me. So trying to figure out where to start. I guess I'll just pick random projects and show them. So I made a bunch of these genre squares. There's only 2 books I have not made a square for that I finished, and that's because I need to get those 2 colors. But this berry blue color, these are cozy mysteries, and so I clearly went on quite a cozy mystery binge. But I crochet 1 granny square for each book that I read based off of the genre. And so that's what I did. Excuse me, wow. Yawning this early into the podcast is not a good sign. I've got some Coke Zero. This is a cherry Coke Zero. At first I wasn't a big fan of the repackaging branding, but it's grown on me a little bit. I still prefer the old style, but this is okay. Anyways, so those are the genre squares. Then I used all of the scrap ends that were big enough to make some face scrubbers of my cotton yarn. So I think there's 10 here. So I did 3 from this Christmas yarn, then 3 in this one, and I love this yarn color. Oh, actually only 2. 2 of these fairly spring looking ones, I like those. 1 in this one. This is kind of like a fall color in my opinion. This is quite bright. And then 2 in these colors. I am probably gonna gift most of these to my sister who's just moving back to America. She's gonna be 21 in September. So along a similar vein, I made some washcloths. So I made 1 in that Easter coloring. I would quite like that. Then I made 1 in this colorway. This one is called Happy Day, and it's one from Crafter's Secret Cotton. And I really like this one. I think that those colors are really pretty. I accidentally made this bigger than I normally would. See, this is the other one in comparison. So, so I wasn't able to make a face scrub out of the extra. And then this is another Crafter's Secret Cotton, and it's called Turquoise Rainbow Bridge. And so this is that same crochet pattern, but I also did a seed stitch knit pattern, and I quite like that. And so for this one, I think I'm gonna make more like this. It's got a really great texture on both sides. I really like it. And for this one, I used these new to me knitting needles. They're Prim. They're supposed to be ergonomic, and they've got these little non-sharp points. Anyways, I really enjoyed these. I'm not sure I would enjoy them for like all projects, but I really enjoyed them for this washcloth. And so I definitely want to try more things with those to see if, because I think I've got the beginning stages of arthritis. My mom got arthritis in her hands pretty young, and my hands are constantly achy. So, yeah, I want to see if more ergonomic knitting needles would help with that. Sorry, I just got a message from a seller for an issue that I will talk to you guys about in just a minute. So I was just seeing what she said. Okay, awesome. Okay, so no, let's continue with finishes before I get to whips. I made 2 more purple baby hats, and these I will be donating for the Clicks for Babies, to bring awareness on coping mechanisms for how to deal with, well, how to prevent the shaken baby syndrome. So parents are given these classes to teach them coping mechanisms for when their babies will just cry for hours on end, and when at the end they're given a purple baby hat, and when they see the baby hat on their baby, it's supposed to help remind them what they learned. And I think it's a great organization, and so all the baby hats need to be purple. And so when I get a chance, I like to make some baby hats for that. So I made 2 this time. I also decided to make some Battenberg squares with some of my scrap yarns. So I have 6 here. So that's fun. This one, I really like how that turned out. That's fun. This is socks that I made for my sister. This is scrap yarn left over from that. I don't remember what this skein is, but I really like how this mini turned out. I love this one. This is, I actually just frogged the project that I took this yarn from. I'm sure it's showing up a little bit better. But anyways, yeah, I frogged the project. This is called Bilbo's Trolls. I frogged like several projects this last month. This is from my Christmas sock yarn for the socks that I made. I showed them a couple videos ago, and this was the mini that came with it. So yeah, it's just nice to have some more squares to be able to add to the Battenberg Battenberg blanket if I ever get it. Okay, first of all, it calls for over 1,000 squares, so I think I have 11, maybe 12 total so far, so far to go. But yeah. So next I will show a finished object that I have before I get to whips. And this is one that you've seen before. I started it a 1.5 years ago, and that is my Christmas tide cowl that I finally finished. And oh look, there's a crease in there because I folded it. Oh well. Anyways, it's hard to get cowls to not crease. But so yeah, I finished this project. There's a couple of mistakes in the last couple sections, but oh well. I was glad to just get it done. So, yep, I put it on very briefly because, let me take off my glasses for a minute. So, this is how it looks on me. I think I actually prefer it the opposite way, where the blue is by my face, than when the red is. But anyways, so this is what it looks like. Things so close to my neck always make me look like my face is extra chubby because I've got a round face. So I don't really wear turtlenecks and stuff like that, but I really wanted to make this pattern. So it took 1.5 years and I finished it. And I showed it to my husband and he wanted to steal it. So anyways, see, this would be with the blue, but it means the Christmas trees are upside down, but I don't think anyone's ever actually gonna notice, but whatever. Whatever. So glad to finally have this complete. And then it will be put away probably till November because it's way too warm to wear it up here. And I have in this bag all my leftovers, including the 2 minis. It was 2 6-color fade sets that I used, but this was a 10 color, so I took out 2 from each fade set. And then all the all the little leftovers. So still have to decide what I'm gonna do with them, so that's why they're all just kind of living here in this bag and not in my scrap container. I think that's all the projects I had started and made progress on to show you guys. I am like 2 rows done from being done with this washcloth, and I am not a fan of this colorway. I thought I would be because it looks pretty in its cake, but I think the red is overwhelming for the other colors. But anyways, I'll still finish making washcloths with them and I'll just give them away. So yeah, there's that. And then I have a couple more whips to show you that you will not have seen before that are like bigger whips. Excuse me, let me just fix my hair. Okay. So first is I'm making a doily. This is a free pattern. It's called the Northern Lights doily. So one of the prompts in the Harry Potter knitting and crochet Ravelry group that I'm doing, the prompt was something related to northern or southern lights, and so because this pattern is called Northern Lights, it's related. And then my husband's daughter-in-law's mother indicated she'd like a doily. She was like, you know, no one ever makes them anymore. They're hard to find. And I was like, well, I'll make you a doily. I don't mind making doilies. I just don't make them because no one really wants one. People are like, you know, old lady crafts. But so she wanted one. So I was like, perfect. So Christmas present getting knocked out the way. This is where I'm at on it. And I am really enjoying working on it. I love how easily repetitive these are to make. So that is the Northern Lights doily, and I am hoping to finish this in the next couple of days. Oh, sorry, one more message from the person. I'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, so I'm hoping to finish that by the end of the week. Next, I have 2 projects from the same yarns. And this is a mini, like an advent set that I purchased secondhand from someone. from the Harry Potter knitting and crochet group that I'm in, and so it was like $50 or $60 for a set that's normally like 200 plus, and so I was really happy about that. And so I am making 2 projects out of that, and I still have like 6 grams left over, so I'll probably make some more Battenberg squares with the leftovers. But that is, okay, so the first project I'm making is this mini sock bunting. This actually only has 24, but I have 25 colors, so I'm gonna make 25. And so I have finished 3. Here's the first little stocking. Here's the second little stocking. And the third, which is plain green. Actually, that's the opposite order. So this is first, second, third. Not that it matters too much, but anyways. So, the project that I'm using these for, I have to do all 25 by the end of July. So, oh gosh, geez Louise. I can do 1 in a day. It's just that takes up most of my crafting time, so. My goal is to have 13 done by the end of this month. Then the next thing that gets applied to is this scarf, which is called Cat's Adventure Scarf. And so what it is it's alternating rows with the colors. So you see it starts out day 1 down here, and you did 12 rows of that, and then you start doing 4, like 4 of that, then 4 more of the green, then 4 more of this, and then 4 more of the green, then 4 more of this, and then you bring in the third color and you're done with this one. So then 4 of that. So there's 24 rows in each color. So they start alternating 4, then 4, then 4. Anyways, so I'm at the point where I have to add the next color in. And I think that it's a red color. This is a Downton Abbey Advent. And I'm pretty positive this is the next color. So it's really pretty. And I need to have this done, by mid-July. So as I'm doing the stocking, I then switch to this project when I'm done with the stocking. So that's how I've been alternating it. Yeah. I made a yarn cozy, and isn't that pretty? So I made a yarn cozy with, for the little stockings all have this white contrast heel, and so I wanted to keep my white yarn safe, so I made a yarn cozy for it. And I also made that this last week. And I think that is all my whips to show you. So now I'm going to do a little bit of stash enhancement, show and tell, and then a small section of plans, and then we're going to be done. So hopefully under half an hour. I got my latest Gilmore Girls yarn, and I think this is my favorite one yet. Look at how pretty this is. Now, this colorway is called the Amazing Dog Swami, and this was the inspiration picture, which I do not see any of the colors in, but I'm okay with it because this is gorgeous. I have to find the perfect project for it. This probably will not be one of the honey cows because it's just so pretty. I love it. I love it so much. So there's that. I mentioned my husband wanted to steal that and I said no. But so then he talked me into making him one, and I might change the pattern, but the pattern I found that I wanted to change it to only calls for odd number of colors. I might see if it can be done with 10, but I need to look more into that. But I bought 2 contrasting fades in black, so gray to black, and blue to like a navy. And so it will be more like this, with it being every other color from here. Yeah, I think this is gonna be really pretty. It'll be more masculine. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working on that. I will probably save it and try to make it my big project for the fall. So for now, this is just stash. The final piece of stash I have to share is the messages I was reading. And that is the Harry Potter Club that I do. I just got this month's skein in the mail today. And as soon as I opened it, I was like, that's not right. And it turns out she had sent me the wrong base. So I got sent a worsted weight, and I always order sock weight. And apparently there's someone with a similar last name, and she orders worsted weight, and so the orders got mixed up. And so the reply I was reading was telling me that she'll send me the correct one in the base I order, and to just keep this one. So that is cool. As I don't actually have any worsted weight in my stash. However, of all the colorways from this year, this is probably my least favorite, but that's okay. So this is called Pygmy Puff, and it's a little two not colors that I usually use. I mean, it's not bad, but and then the mini that goes with it is actually perfect. I mean, you can see it. It's a perfect contrast. So I'm excited to be getting the correct base sent to me. She said that I can just keep this one, so I will. And maybe see if there's some worsted weight project that I can use it in. And the little extra that came with it, actually I wanted to see if maybe there's a like a hat pattern, because the extra that came with it is this, and this is like a puff that goes with a hat, I think. And so make a hat, possibly gift it, maybe to my sister, and include the puff. So I might see if there's some worsted weight hat pattern. I've not yet ever gotten up the courage to knit a hat, so we will see what happens with that. But that is my stash enhancement. So just a few skeins. And I mean, I want to be even, okay, but seriously though, if you're looking for fades, I highly recommend checking out this shop. They have a lot of amazing fade minis, and I will be purchasing some more for myself. There's a nice like rose fade set, and like a wine one, and like nice purples and some turquoise and aqua colors. Anyways, I'm definitely going to be looking them up again. So yeah, and I felt that yarn, and it's so soft and very nice. So yeah, I'm just going to talk real quick about a couple of plans for this month for knitting. And as I've mentioned before, I do the Harry Potter knitting and crochet thing that's broken up into 3 sets of 3 months with a month off in between each set. And so right now we're in the, do they call it the spring? I think they call it spring, even though it's so hot. It's hot, it's summer, it's hot. Okay, so I was actually sitting here thinking to myself yesterday, like, you know how people get seasonal depression or whatever? I get that for summer. I despise summer. And I just want to say to any other people out there who might feel the same way, but feel like, you know, you're supposed to love summer because everyone says to love summer, you know, you're not alone in despising the heat. There's not a single thing about summer I can think of that I like, except for maybe my birthday. I can't deal with heat. I don't like the beach. I don't like salt water. I don't like sand. I'm just basically a grump. And so I spend a lot of summer sleeping because it's the only way I can make it through the heat. And also right now our air conditioning is not really working. So, yeah. We're supposed to have a day that's 104 this week. I'm not looking forward to it. So, anyways, that's my little I hate summer spiel, because I make these like knitting plans, but then it gets hot and my hands get hot, so I don't know how much I'll be able to do. But anyways, I am supposed to be getting a new set of circular needles. I ordered them from Amazon, and what I did was I ordered one size up in the normal sock size. So most people use a US 1, and I'm still trying to find a size and stitch count that fits my feet well, because I have wide feet. However, doing the wide size sock with 72 stitches cast on is a little too loose for my liking. 64, which is the medium size, is a little too tight. So I am hoping that going to a 1.5 with 64 stitches might be the right fix. So I'm really looking forward to getting those needles. We made a big Amazon order with a bunch of stuff we've been wanting to get, and most of it came like an hour or two ago, except for my knitting needles, which is apparently out for delivery. So they should be coming soon. But I'm really excited to try this, as I really would like to find the right fit for me so that I can make socks that I can wear without them slipping down or without them feeling too constrictive and tight. So I picked a yarn from my stash that I wanted to use, and I decided on this beautiful skein. I don't know why, it just called to me. Like, I was going through, it probably took like a good 15, 20, 30 minutes to try to pick the right skein. And at first I was gonna do a pretty intricate pattern. Christmas in the Big Woods, the Advent that was this year for the bakery bears. However, I decided that if this combination of the size and the stitch count isn't one that's actually going to work well for my feet, I didn't want to put in as much effort as those socks are going to be. And so I wanted a simpler pattern instead. So I'm going with this pattern called the Prairie Socks, which look a bit more complicated than they are. It's basically 2 rows of knit and then 1 row of pattern, and then 2 more rows of knit, then 1 row of pattern. So it's fairly simple, should go pretty quick, but I think it will also look really nice in this. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm probably gonna wind this up real soon. I would like to make another honey cowl this month because I'm trying to make 4 for Christmas presents. And so I finished 1. And so I'm using the Fangirl fibers that I've been getting. And so this was the one from February, I believe, Oi with the poodles already. And I think that the honey cowl would look really pretty in this one. So this one, I'm hoping to cast on really soon because I need to finish it by the end of June. And the final plan is, these are the socks I'm making for my mom, the Sweetheart socks. So I'd like to finish this one this month as my detention, and maybe do the second sock. Don't know what class I would fit that in. I guess I could say Care Magical Creatures, your interpretation of single, and so a single sock is a single, so might be able to fit it in there. Because it's definitely not something simple. It's not something green, and maybe could be considered high density, possibly considered high density. But anyways, yeah. And the rest of the classes will probably be fit in with washcloths because they're easy to do and so quick credit. But so those are my plans, and that is my update video. I will come back with another yarn related update video in a couple weeks probably. We have a lot of summer plans, so we'll see kind of how things go. My family's going to be in the country visiting, and so of course I haven't seen 2 of my sisters in about 3 years. And we're not for sure one of them will be able to make it, but we're really hoping she's able to, so fingers crossed. But yeah, so we'll see what manages to get done. I always make lots of plans and not a lot get accomplished, but we'll see. So I will talk to you guys later. Until then, bye.